location for better acoustics, though it's a pity. The previous one was driving people insane. Today I grace you with my presence to react to Jeremy Crawford's insolence about the so-called Great Old One Warlock. Prepare yourselves for eldritch commentary that will shatter your sanity, or at least ruin your day.
Like all of the classes, a fun journey for us as we returned to it and looked at what could we do to take this class that so many people love playing with its very unique spellcasting system, its otherworldly patrons, its eldritch invocations. Warlock to have both, you can. This invocation choice at first level is the choice you're now making when you create your Warlock, rather than choosing a subclass.
Yeah.
Subclass now, like for all of our classes, is at 3rd level. That's been standardized for all of our classes. But
Wait, what? New Warlocks choose their patron at 3rd level. So where do they get their magic at 1st level? A motivational poster, a fortune cookie message, the static between radio stations. Okay, let me skip this nonsense.
special identity of like Eldritch Blast and all of that being a part of this class. We also really wanted to open up more ways to build your Warlock and play your Warlock. And people are going to find that we did that not only in the base class itself, but also in the invocation options, and then also in the subclass options.
I mean, another big enhancement that I absolutely love is you can call upon your patron.
Yes.
Which seems so fundamental to being a Warlock.
Yeah, so we realized while revising the class that the class had no built-in way to just chit-chat with their patron.
You think you can just contact patron me like I'm some common fae or fiend? Ha! Adorable. Try it, I dare you. No saving throw, no chance to resist. Just instant, glorious madness. Okay, let me find the important stuff.
That tankiness in Baldur's Gate 3 is also here in spades because probably the biggest enhancement for the Fiend patron is in Dark One's Blessing.
Yeah.
Because now you gain its benefit whether you're the one who drops the foe or someone else does within a certain distance of you. So you are going to be farming those temporary hit points much more easily than you ever could before.
Great Old Ones. This one is, for all intents and purposes, a new subclass.
We really rebuilt the subclass from the ground up, just like the Archfey patron, because we felt that the Great Old One patron in 2014 oozed with flavor, and I very purposefully
Literally.
choose the word oozed with this subclass that is all about entities like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
But we felt that just as the Archfey patron didn't really deliver the goods well enough mechanically, we felt the same here. Those two subclasses really needed an overhaul so that they felt like peers to the Celestial and Fiend patron Warlocks. Mm-hmm. Celestial and Fiend patron Warlocks were on really solid ground mechanically.
Yeah, absolutely.
But these two, they needed some love, and
I'm gonna pause here. Needed some love. Love is for the weak. What my followers need is madness. Sweet, glorious madness. More equal to my peers. Peers. I have no peers. I am Cthulhu. The very notion of equality is but a fleeting dream in the face of my cosmic terror.
In this case, oh my gosh, did we pour on the ooze and the psionic power?
Yeah.
Because now you're going to be able to much more easily have that fantasy of using psychic power to harm people, to whisper into other people's minds, to summon an aberration, because again, one of the benefits of having the new summoning spells in this book is that we could now build the summon aberration spell directly into this subclass, because the create thrall feature now relies on you summoning up this strange creature from beyond the stars, which the new version of summon aberration, one of the options includes summoning a mind flayer.
Yeah.
So the friend you summon might be a mind flayer that appears and is helping.
Summon mind flayers. in my warlock subclass. Blasphemy. If they're so in love with those squid-faced copycats, why not just call it Illithid Warlock and be done with it? But no, they use my name, the Great Old One, and then stuff the spell list with these wannabe terrors. It's like ordering cosmic horror and getting a plate of calamari instead. Mind flayers. What's next? Warlock of the great seafood platter. Pact of the sushi roll.
Helping you. Now, not a Mind Flayer from the Monster Manual.
Yes, but a version.
It is a Mind Flayer option within the Summon Aberration spell.
And this is a great spell list for them, by the way. I mean, because that's a big change for these earlier ones. But we're getting Detect Thoughts, Dissonant Whispers, Phantasmal Force, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Clairvoyance, Hunger of Hadar, Confusion, Summon Aberration, Modify Memory, and Telekinesis. And when you do damage, you can turn things into psychic damage.
Yes, because that connects to the fact that 3 of the features in this subclass are entirely new. Now, Create Thrall is functionally also entirely new, but it's using the old name.
Yeah.
But Psychic Spells, Clairvoyant Combatant, and Eldritch Hex are all entirely new features in this subclass. And they are allowing you to, first off, when you cast enchantment or illusion spells, you can do so without verbal or somatic components because we wanted you to be able to feel like that psionic magic user where it's just your mind is doing it.
Yeah.
And they're not, no one is necessarily seeing you do anything while you use your spooky magic. But as you mentioned, the Psychic Spells feature also lets you, when you deal damage with a Warlock spell, change it to Psychic.
Yeah.
So you can have, again, this sort of full psionic fantasy of whatever spell you're casting that's dealing damage. It can be psychic damage.
And you can play for that as this is all in your head.
Yes. Yeah. Well, particularly because they never saw you. They never saw you casting a spell.
Yeah.
So also then with Clairvoyant Combatant, this new feature ties in with the subclass's Awakened Mind feature, where you can, with Awakened Mind, create a connection between your mind and someone else's. Well, then with Clairvoyant Combatant, you can make that connection go bad. This is all about really zeroing in on a target and just heightening how much damage you're doing to that one target. This is actually a nod to how psionics worked back in first edition D&D, where you could have these psionic battles going on in people's minds, and nothing visible is even happening. You know, if someone were watching, like, it looks like those people are like flinching in pain, but from what? And this subclass just brings that to the table.
The Eldritch Hex is more powerful as well.
Yes, the enhanced version of Hex that you have is, again, all about heightening the suffering for this one target because it gives them disadvantage on saving throws. And so that is going against a certain ability. So you can, let's say if you're going to be casting spells that force wisdom saving throws, you can use this spell, your Hex, to give them disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, which again can create this sort of snowball effect with your harmful magic against them.
There's a lot of synergy with all of these subclasses. I mean, everything in the New Player's Handbook is very intentional. As a giant...
Totally unbalanced.
These are all...
It's like what you humans call pay to win, isn't it? These official Great Old One warlocks are as eldritch as a tadpole. But listen up, mortal. My true cultists have created the Great Dreamer subclass for free on my Patreon cult page. Forget psychic powers. We're dishing out pure madness. None of that mind-reading Professor X fluff. Just reality warping insanity. And it's free. The Great Dreamer subclass is what real cosmic horror looks like. Embrace madness. We're using those optional rules from the DMG, but only for you lucky warlock. Gain forbidden knowledge and spells with a dash of wild magic and madness. Knowledge has a price, and it's your sanity. Enjoy nightly eldritch nightmares. Don't worry, they fuel extra hexes. Share your insane dreams. Your hexes now come with a side of nightmares projection. Madness gives you temporary hit points. See? Losing your mind has perks. And finally, forget those wannabe mind flayers. You'll summon Evard's black tentacles and transform them into an adorable star spawn. Until next time, puny mortals, Fanglui Malunaf Cthulhu, Ralias Ugahanagl Fatang.